So, as I promised, we're going to talk today about Taanis Eshter, right after the Yom Shir. The question is, why do we fast on Taanis Eshter? Conceptually, if we leave Yom Kippur on the side for a moment, almost all Taanisim, almost all fast days have to do with the fact that Beis Hamikdash was destroyed. We sort of commemorate the 4 different stages of the Churban of the Golus. Why do we still fast? Says Rambam, Beis Hamikdash, last time I checked, was not yet built, is not yet built, and therefore, to remember the Ma'asim Elohim Shel Avoseinu and our Ma'asim Roim, we have to do tshuva, get our act together, do tshuva, and when your stomach is, churning, then you remember, no, I have to improve, and this is something constructive, and this is something good. Remember the Churban, it's very relevant, and that's why you fast. Taanis Eshter, with all respect due, is part of history. Remember history? Of course remember history. We're very, very grateful to Hashem that the problem that then was a problem that the entire Jewish nation was about to annihilate it, we say no, Baruch Hashem. Then came Purim, then came festivity, and we celebrate Purim very, very nice with 4 mitzvahs and everything. Why do we have to b'chlal celebrate and not celebrate? Why do we have to remember the bad time that preceded the good time? What for? It's all done. It's not a relevant piece anymore. Purim, by the way, we celebrate to thank Hashem. The definition of Chanukah and Purim is halal v'hoido. Yeah, Chazal made 2 Yomim Tovim, that the entire essence is to thank Hashem. Very nice. But why? Remembering the fact that they fasted, and that fast that we commemorate is the fast that was before they went to war against the Goyim, and they won. They went to war. So the Sif Chaim explains, very, very nice idea, very nice concept. He says the follows. He says that basically the reason why there was this terrible gezerah, the terrible decree that came upon Am Yisrael, was firstly because of the nehenu mesudosa sheloi sorosha. They enjoyed the party of Achashverosh, who was a Rosha. And then the Gemara says, if so, only those in Shushan should have got the punishment, not everybody else. Says the Gemara, no, there's another old cheshbon, excuse me, there's old baggage from the time when they bowed down to the vessel of Nebuchadnezzar. They bow down to some kind of idol in the times of Nebuchadnezzar, and that's why they deserve to be wiped away. Says the Gemara, if so, why didn't it happen? Says the Gemara, they only did it lifnim. When they bowed down to the pesel, they didn't really believe it. They did it on the outside. It was just a facade. They put up a facade. So to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Gzera sounds like, and some people saying, it was only not a real Gzera. Hashem Kilo just wanted to scare them, so much most like that at the Medrash, like there's a dog barking. Hashem said, I'm just going to make them scared, get them to get their act together, but really nothing's going to happen. Says of Sif Chaim, that's not true. You can't just say Hashem is playing games with us. You can't say Hashem says, let's just scare them off. It says there was a Gzera. A Gzera means there was a real decree. Hashem is not playing games. There was a real decree, a gezerah. And we see in Midrashim, it was very hard to actually change that gezerah, which was already signed and sealed. It wasn't a simple thing. So was it a real or just a joke? Well, what was the story? He explains, and I'm saying something which should have been very long. I'm trying to condense it to about 2-3 minutes. And the story is like this. Really, the gezerah, when the gezerah came about, then Eliyahu Novi was very concerned. And he started becoming the messenger, which is Eliyahu Novi's job, to be the messenger, to go between, to be the courier between the upper worlds and the tzaddikim in this world. He came to the Avos HaKadoshim, and he said, look, there's a gzera, they're going to kill the entire Am Yisrael. What's going on? They said, it's a gzera, we can't do anything about it. It was that bad. Even the Avos HaKadoshim, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov couldn't change anything. And then he went to Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu says, is there a tzaddik down there that can really daven hard? Eliyahu said, yes, there's Mordechai. Moshe said, okay, I can work with him together. I can coordinate with him, cooperate with him. Moshe, by the way, from the 7 midos of Kabbalah, Moshe is midas netzach, netzach forever, eternity, because that's what it says. The bechinas Moshe Rabbeinu is an tzaddik of every generation. Moshe is somebody who is always continues. Also gave us the Torah, which is forever. Netzach means to win. Lenatzeach, because the person who wins is one who actually stays, is one who, prevails. So now Moshe Rabbeinu together with Mordechai Tzaddik worked in both worlds together, in nice correlation, and Eliyahu was the one going between. But before that it said that why could the Gzera be changed? They said the Gzera can only be changed if it's signed with tit, which is like clay. It was signed with tit, but not signed with blood. What does that mean? Explains the Maharal that tit means just, gashmias, like earthly pleasures. If the Eden are there because of earthly pleasures, they wanted to have fun. And I had the diuk, it said, they enjoyed the Suda, they just wanted to have fun. They didn't have krumashkofas, they didn't have bad outlook on life like kfira. They actually wanted to have fun in the Mishnah. Maybe they also had political ideas there. We want to be good with the goyim, but they were superficial. They're not really into the Achashverosh hashkafa, into his outlook on life, into his ideas of kfira and celebrating the destruction of Beis Hamikdash. If it would be done with blood means damhu hanefesh. That means if their nefesh was inside, if they have a whole ideology, we are pro Achashverosh because that's advanced, and we want to be like the goyim because that's the right thing to do, and we have to be advanced, and we have to be like them, and they throw away the Yiddishkeit, then the Gzera wouldn't be able to change at all. Now, the Gzera never actually was erased. Even though it was written betit, it says the Gzera was not erased. It wasn't completely cut off. It wasn't deleted. You delete from the computer, very nice. You cannot delete the Gzera written by Kadosh Baruch Hu. So what was done? That Gzera, which was only on the outside, meaning the Gzera came as a result of their outwardly bad behavior. Internally, they're not bad. So the Gzera that was supposed to come upon them, but was they were internally good, that Gzera stays. But instead of being turned against them, and that fateful night, it was turned against Achashverosh and his people. In other words, it wasn't deleted, it wasn't erased, it wasn't crossed off, it was nahapochu, which is the whole concept of Purim. That Gzera, as long as we are good, as long as our internal connection with Hashem is there, so then even a bad Gzera, because it's coming really from a good place, that Gzera is on the outside, meaning the outside face of the Gzera faces Am Yisrael. Now it can go and face Achashverosh, and the same Gzera will be turned over on him. And that's the whole Purim. And that's why in Purim we don't differentiate between Haman and Mordechai. We're so close to Hashem, we know that internally everything is from him, and internally we're always connected to him. Look at the nice Yeshiva Bachrim. When they become Shekar, they cry, they want Kirvas Elokim. That's how we behave in Purim. We realize that internally everything is good, including all the seemingly good, seemingly bad Gezeros. Really, it's all good in the inside, and that's what Purim is all about. The Pnimius, the internal side is good. The Gezerah, as long as it's betit, can be turned over against our enemies. May the mask that we wear now, I do wear my mask all the time, don't worry. The mask should really become a Purim mask. I didn't bring one with me. Yeah, that mask should be changed into a beautiful mask of Purim. Hashem. We should see Beis Hamikdash Memer B'Meinu Amen, and all the bad Gezeros they only look as if they're bad, should not be erased. It should be changed, and as bad as it is now, that level of bad will become good, and may we see Mashiach soon, very, very soon. Thank you very much.
Amen.
So you ask why we fast in Taanis Eshter? Well, now we know. Because in Taanis Eshter we learn that anything that seemingly is bad is really good. Nothing should be eradicated, nothing should be cut off. As long as in the inside we're good, we're connected. We just have to change that seems to be bad into the real good. And Mirza Hashem, that when we learn this lesson, our Taanis Eshter will be meaningful, our Purim will be meaningful. We'll know that every bad is really good, and have a great time, great Purim. Thank you.